Hi, Geoff Lawton here, and I'm back at Zaytuna farm. It's great to be back, and this is one of my favourite times of the day, early morning. There's lots of bird songs, everything's still, the animals are just starting to move around the farm, and we're starting to get things going. Nice to share this with you, Zaytuna farm, as it is. I'm going to go for a little walk around as I'm enjoying the place after quarantine and after getting stuck, almost not getting back to Australia with the shutdown on transport. I'm just going to take a few shots. I'm just going to walk and talk and show you a few points. It's not really a tour. It's just some like nice little parts of the property that I like to show you, and let's see what events just kind of happen in front of us as we go. All right, so turning right around straight away, one of my favorite companions here, Possum, just patiently waiting while I'm making another film. She's sitting on the speed bump here that directs water down the spillway swale of Paradise Dam. Recently we've been excavating with a lot of new house sites, so we've got some lovely soft sandstone. So it's a soft sandstone speed bump here on the spillway. I feel undressed without a dog. I've always had dogs. Got the big one and a little one. She just waits for me everywhere. She's my permanent companion. She keeps the fox back. She's a guard dog as well, and she's also a bit of a cattle dog if you get her in control. And just sneaking up on me is my daughter Latifa. You're getting ready to milk the cows, aren't you? Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna get my bow.
You're gonna get your what?
Bow.
Bow?
Yes.
You're gonna shoot some arrows?
Yes.
All right.
Get a duck.
Oh. Yeah, let's walk down this way. This is one of our new house sites. Something I do a lot of nowadays, designing house sites and designing different permaculture subdivisions, permaculture townhouses, permaculture real estate. People want more sustainable living systems, and we design these systems. We design the house sites, we design the runoff water so it works well. This one is one of our share property house sites, and I've enjoyed designing it and teaching people about designing it. It'll be a beautiful one, this one. It's got the bamboo in the backdrop. It's got a dam behind it there, cubby house dam. It's got a lotus paddy right here, right in front of it, with a beautiful terrace around it. It's got 3 swales running off on the side of the hill. Bottom one's quite new, but the 2 above are a lot more established. And it's got a main crop garden, which converts to their shareholders' local garden. So it will be their orchard, zone 1 garden. And just below are the horses in the bottom paddock, and that's who I want to go and say hello to. So from the house site and this beautiful lotus paddy, when we turn around, we come to one of our bottom pastures, and here's our 3 horses, 3 different sizes, miniature little Max, I call him Maximus Horsimus, and my big thoroughbred Jax. And in the background, the grey pony, part Arab, part stock horse, Shadia. Hey, come and say hello. Yes. Oh. Yeah. Jax is about 10 years old, ex-racehorse. He's got a cold brand on the side here, 4-8, which was the 4th foal in 2008, born to a stable with that cold brand there. This is racing brands, but he's a little bit dressage, well, he's well-trained dressage horse, and a beautiful ride. I love him to death, and he's quite a character. And here's another character. He's got his woolly coat on because we're going into winter. This is Max, miniature horse, and like all miniature animals, small animals, he's got an attitude, but he's fun, and he was Latifa's first riding horse. And you got to watch he doesn't founder because he's so small. And no one rides him now. When any kids come, they can get a ride on Max. And Shadia is coming up here, the grey under the silky oak here. She was just about born here, not quite. She arrived as a young foal, just a month old. And she's been here most of her life, nearly all her life. She's about 10 too. And she's the same age as Latifa. They've grown up together, and she's now Latifa's pony. And she is beautiful. And she's a great ride. Fantastic pony for Latifa, and they're best of mates. And Latifa and I ride together, and this is my big boy. Oh, he's having a yawn. Isn't he beautiful? We've got a little riding arena down here to work the horses and to get our skills up. And it's something we love doing together. It's a full-size dressage, 60 metres by 20 metres. Some of the features we like about the farm. From the horses there, they're waiting to go up to the dairy to get fed after the cows are milked. But looking across the easterly slopes of Zaytuna farm, the hill behind gets backlit by the early morning sun as it comes over the eastern hills. And it kind of gives this lovely light through the valley. And I really like that look. Early morning is definitely a special time for me on the farm. I try and always see the dawn stars. I saw them this morning. I hope I always see them. Makes me feel like I've seen the whole day. When I turn around, the river's on this side. This is Terania Creek, and the sun just coming up from the Great Pacific over the hill behind the Shadia village. The village is right on that hill. It's just opposite us. We're right next to the village. Our main crop is truly a main crop right now. So we just have 4 guests here at the moment. So we have large crops, and our kitchen garden produces most of our nutrition, and our main crop produces calories. So pumpkin, corn crop, ready to be harvested, last one of the year. Capsicum, it's the summer crop finishing, last one of the year. Potatoes, just been planted, first crop of the winter as a main crop. And we've got vetch cover crop. If you're wondering what the green edges are, they're vetch cover crop coming around the edge. There's 2 rows of potatoes in each bed with a compost furrow trench in between. That's our way of growing potatoes. And of course, the eternal sweet potato, which we're always growing, it seems. We're always planting, always growing. We've got tomatoes, and they're just finishing, but we have endless sweet potato because it'll grow here all year. So it's our main starch. And then over the back here, we have a cassava garden. It's just coming through. Cassava is also a perennial here. So we have our cassava, which is very hardy. It'll grow right out of the weeds. So another main crop. We're really main cropping now. It's very basic, it's very simple. It's not complex at all. Okay, we're here at the dairy, and this is one of our early morning activities. Well, quite early anyway. We've got the feed ready and the buckets, and one of our main dairy cows here, Daisy. She's waiting, she's impatiently waiting. Here she goes, bucket going in, and she's already feeding. So she's getting her deal, and we're gonna now get our lovely fresh milk. Let's show you how it works. We milk every day, and we get another product as well. We get quite a lot of night manure, which is useful around the farm. Let me show you around. So this is our milking station, and we've got a nice stepped dairy, so we can milk stood up. And Salah and Latifa are sharing the milk in here, and there it goes into the bucket. Now this is a manual milking, and we've only got one and a half cows really. There's a young cow going to come in next, so we won't bother with the small machine. So it's just as easy to hand milk. There are all kinds of different feeds. We give them different minerals and different mixes, a little bit of molasses, stainless steel buckets. Here's Daisy, she's getting breakfast. She's used to this. You can actually milk Daisy in the paddock if you want, we used to. Let's have a look at there we go, in the bucket it goes. Get your aim straight. There we go.
Let me empty that.
This just goes in case they kick the bucket. I'll put it in the spare bucket. We've always got a bit of extra there, just in case we get a kick. There's a little bit of oil, a little bit of coconut oil we're using for making the teats nice and lubricated. And this is a standard procedure. And it's good to have it organised, everything that's needed for the cows, actually the horses as well. So we've got our saddles here, we saddle up right here at the moment. And our dairy calves, they get milk all day, but they're locked off at night. So the mums are bagged up because they haven't had any calves milking them during the night time. You can do it anyway, but you can lock them off in the day or lock them off at night, but you've got to lock them off half the time to get your milk. So our calves get milk half the time, and we get the other half. We get it after the night. This is Bill. She's just got her first calf, but we've also got lots of manure. See the manure? We've got manure all around the night yard. They're very friendly. They know as well. No problem. We get all this manure every day. We get all that manure to take to the garden, to take to the worm farm, to take to the compost. So next to the dairy, we have a long, thin paddock here where we let the cows graze for about 30 minutes after milking while we clean up, process the milk, wash down the dairy, and they bag up. So this is called a bag up cell. So they get extra milk in that 30 minutes, and then we let the calves out. 30 to 40 minutes, a cow will put on quite a lot of milk from that bit of grazing, and then the calves immediately have their milk as soon as they come out. So otherwise, your dairy cow won't give you the last litre of milk. She'll save it for her calves. But they're creatures of habit. They know you're going to give them that time to bag up. So they'll give you all of their milk, knowing they're going to get that lovely bit of pasture to bag up before the calves come out all hungry for breakfast. We're only getting a few litres. We're getting 3-4 litres out of the 2. Most of it's coming out of Daisy here. Probably 1.5 litres out of Bill. And that's our early morning milking. This is one of my favourite trees on the farm because it's just such a gorgeous shape. And I camped under this tree when I first arrived. There was nothing here, and this was my camp. It's a Ficus macrophylla planted over 100 years ago for shade for cattle. It's an island of life. The ficus fruits, they call them figs, common name, but it's not an edible fig. But the fig birds eat it all day, and the bats eat it all night, and the mice come along and eat the fallen figs, and the owls come along and eat the mice. So it's like an island of life. It's got incredibly long branches right out. It's quite special. We've recently put a dam in the valley behind it, below it, and it tails right back to the outside root zone edge. And we've called it Fig Tree Dam. It was the last dam we built. So now this tree with its beautiful buttress, I actually used the buttress as my cupboard originally. So I sort of stored things and put covers over them in amongst the buttress. We really had no resources originally, but now we have water coming up the valley right behind it. And you can see the buttress is right here, and the outside drip line lines up perfectly to get extra water from here now. This is the tail end. Some of these trees are going to die off because they're flooded, but they're going to be great habitat, and our water goes right back into the forest there. I'll go to the other end and we'll look back at it, because it's quite something. So here we are, coming down onto the dam wall. You can see the dribbler pipe there, and the water's right on the dribbler pipe, so she's absolutely full capacity as a standard flow. Emergency spillway in the foreground. Across the emergency spillway, And you can see from the dam wall, looking back to the forest, a very young dam, less than a year old, about 7 months old. There, and you can see the canopy of the big fig there above it, where it tiles back into the forest. It's one of the lowest dams on the farm, not quite the lowest, but it's pretty much down there in the bottom. It's very much a wildlife dam, great swimming dam, going to be a great fish dam. We're able to stock it with a lot of fish. But in emergencies, we're going to be able to pump from here to the higher dams. We've got lots of nice rocks positioned, we'll be able to sit on and enjoy the view. Yes, and you will as well. There's our small herd of beef cows there. Well, there you go, early morning Zaytuna farm. Great pleasure to share it with you. We'll do a lot more Q&As, sharing information, because that's what we're about. Okay.